People tend to notice. If you vanish at the same time as a very rich, popular classmate, they notice even more. Which was why, I supposed, I was back in the principal's office the Monday after I returned from the Nevernever. Only this time, there were 2 policemen in the room as well, looming over my chair and looking stern. Kids passing by peered through the door's window and gaped at me before hurrying off with their friends, whispering. Great. I already had a reputation for being a delinquent and a troublemaker. This probably wasn't going to help. "Do you know why we've brought you here, Mr. Chase?" the principal said, pursing his thin mouth. I shrugged. I'd been in this office on my first day of school and knew the principal thought I was a lost cause. No point in trying to change his mind. Besides, the 2 officers were far more worrisome. "We'd like to ask you a few questions about Todd Wyndham," one of the policemen stated, making my stomach twist. "As you may know, he disappeared last Friday, and his mother filed a missing persons report when he didn't return from school. According to her, the last person to speak to him before he vanished was you." I swallowed. Todd Wyndham was a classmate of mine, and I knew exactly what had happened to him that night. But there was no way I was going to tell the police officers that Todd was part fae, a half-breed who had been kidnapped by the Forgotten and drained of his glamour. Problem was, draining his glamour had also robbed him of his memories, his emotions, and his sense of self. By the time Kenzie and I had found him, his magic was already gone, leaving him dazed, passive, and completely human. Keeping my voice steady, I faced the officer who had spoken. "Yeah, I saw him at school that day. Everyone did. What's the big deal?" "The big deal," the officer continued, frowning harder, "is that Todd Wyndham showed up at his home last week, completely shell-shocked. He doesn't remember much, but he has told us that he was kidnapped and that there were other kidnap victims. His symptoms are on par with someone who has witnessed a violent crime, and we fear the kidnapper could strike again soon. We're hoping that you can shed some light on Todd's condition." "Why me?" The policeman narrowed his eyes. "Because on the day after Todd's disappearance, Mrs. St. James reported her daughter missing as well. She was last seen at a martial arts tournament, speaking to you. Witnesses say that you pulled her out of the building, into the parking lot, and then you both disappeared. Care to tell me what happened, Ethan?" My heart pounded, but I kept my cool, sticking to the script Kenzie and I had come up with. "Kenzie wanted to see New York City," I said casually. "Her dad didn't want her to go, but she really wanted to see it, before she died." They blinked, probably not knowing if I was being serious or overly dramatic. I shrugged again. "She asked me to take her, so I did. She never said her dad didn't know she was leaving." Kind of a lame excuse, but I couldn't tell them the real reason, of course, that a bunch of murderous Forgotten had found us at the tournament, chased us into the parking lot, and I'd had to send us both into the Nevernever to escape. The policeman's lips thinned, and I crossed my arms. "If you don't believe me, ask Kenzie," I told him. "She'll tell you the same thing." "We intend to do that." They straightened and backed away, making gestures to let me know we were done here. "Go on back to class, but we'll be watching you, Ethan. Stay out of trouble, you hear?" Relieved, I stood and headed for the door. As I left, I could feel the principal's glare on my back. He'd probably hoped I'd be arrested and carted off to juvie, one less delinquent for him to deal with. I certainly gave off the image of the sullen, brooding troublemaker. Ripped jeans, shirt turned inside out, pierced ears, and defiant smirk firmly in place.